If you've been on the hunt for a really nice, affordable smartphone, I think you should probably check out the Redmi Note 11S or the 11 Pro 5G. Matt Miller, you've had your hands on both of these phones. They seem really interesting, very affordable. Tell us about them.
Viewers may not be that familiar, but this is the retail box. And as you can see in the corner, it has Mi branding and with orange on it. It looks very familiar. So the Redmi brand is Xiaomi, who is a very, very popular mobile phone brand around the world. And I believe they're second or maybe third or something like that. They sell a lot of phones and maybe not as much in the US. So you've seen Xiaomi and they've got some really high end flagship phones. The Redmi brand of the Mi line is their more affordable brand of phones. And I've reviewed these a couple years ago, the first Note. And when I first saw Note, I'm like, oh, I assumed immediately it had an S Pen or something. That's not the case here. There is no S Pen. It's not a Galaxy Note. The Redmi Note is just kind of their affordable brand. So I have two of them at this time that I've playing with, and one is the 11 Pro 5G, and then the other one is the 11S. Now, these are very, very similar phones to each other. So only a couple minor differences. They are a little bit different in size. The 11 Pro 5G has a 6.6-inch AMOLED display, and the 11S has a 6.43 inch. So a little bit of difference in the display size. One display is 120 hertz. The other one is 90 hertz refresh rate. So a little bit difference there. The thing is, the pricing is very similar. Now, at this time, the 11S is available on Amazon in the $385 price range. The 11 Pro 5G, I haven't yet found that on Amazon. It should be coming pretty soon, but you can find it on eBay and other places where there's importers. That one is about $399. So they're very, very similar in price, just under $400. And I'll go first about the similarities, right? So they both have, at the top, they both have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, which is something we don't see on flagships anymore. They both have an IR blaster, so you can use it as a remote control for your TV, stereos, things like that. They both have what I really like is that side fingerprint sensor. So you just simply tap your thumb on the power button on the side, unlock the phone. 5,000 milliampere batteries. They also use operating system. It's based on Android 11. It hasn't been updated Android 12 yet. And they use what is the Mi UI 13 interface. So it's very, very close to stock. There's a couple of special functions that they have in there for managing the phone, quick launches, things like that. So other than the displays and the size, the difference is the 11 Pro 5G uses a Snapdragon 695 processor that supports 5G. And in the US, there is limited bands of 5G that it supports. I have seen it. I've been using a T-Mobile SIM with it, and it will pop into the old Sprint mid-band 5G is where it's functioning. I haven't seen it function with the sub-6 low band or the mmWave high band at all. So I think there is limits on what 5G, but both of them support LTE in the US on T-Mobile, AT&T, and others. So you can use it, as a SIM unlocked phone. The 11S uses a MediaTek Helio G96 processor, so a little bit different. But they both have, you can see on the back, they both have a lot of cameras. They both have the main camera, which is a 108 megapixel camera. And then there's an 8 megapixel ultra wide, a 2 megapixel macro close-up camera. And the 11S has a additional fourth camera, which is a 2 megapixel depth camera. So the 11S actually has more cameras than the 11 Pro 5G. And they both have a front-facing 16 megapixel camera. And it's similar to the new Galaxy S22 cameras, where it's under the glass, so it's smooth across the top, but it's not necessarily under the display. There's still a hole punch, a very tiny hole punch cut out of the display. So that hole is always there in anything you're viewing. It's just you can put a screen protector on and such, and there's no cutout for that screen protector. They're both, Nice materials. It has a frosted looking finishes on them. They are available in different colors. Um, and then they have the metal frame, of course. I believe it's aluminum. The backs are actually a plastic material. You can't really tell with that frosted finish on there. It seems very similar to a frosted glass that we see on other phones, but actuality, I mean, having the something that feels like that, and if it's not glass, it probably tends to break less than a glass backed phone. So I think that's more of a pro than a con to have a plastic back, because it doesn't feel like it. These are very substantial, very well built phones. The cameras so far have performed very well. Of course, the flagships in low light is kind of where the flagships tend to differentiate, but in good lighting conditions, I mean, you're going to get some great shots with these cameras and these phones. And they've been fast. The batteries have lasted a long time. I mean, 5,000 milliamperes in both of these. That's a pretty good sized battery, especially when you're in a mid-sized phone, you know, that's not sucking a lot of juice. So pretty good buys, something to consider. You know, I think they're going to be in my best cheap phones list eventually, or affordable phones list, because they are available as unlocked for anybody that wants to buy them. The easiest place that I found, I mean, there are importers online and things like that, but I think the most reliable for me personally when I look at these kind of phones is to go to Amazon and do a search. And Redmi actually has a Amazon storefront. So you can go to the Redmi Amazon storefront, because they have a lot of different products, right? They make scooters and tons of electronics from that company. But if you do a search for the Redmi Note 11, these will pop up when they're available. And you know, with Amazon, you can kind of trust the sellers and things too.
All right, Matt, thank you so much. As always, we appreciate you testing out these devices and letting us know yay or nay from you. We have Matt's written review linked right below, and then we have links to the devices below as well to make it very easy for you. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stick with ZDNet for all things smartphones and tech.